Let's go to the next one quickly. The store sold one of these two pieces of land for 12,000. So this 14,000 of land that they bought, one piece is sold off, and they sold off for what value? 12,000. Selling price is 12,000. And how has the payment been received? They say that 3,000 was received in cash, and for 9,000, instead of paying cash, the person says that we will assume the responsibility of this obligation. That is the example. They say they have assumed, the buyers have assumed the obligation of mortgage to the extent of 9,000. Then how do we account for this transaction in the accounting equation? Let's quickly hear from anybody. Let's say, okay, Tanvi wants to go ahead. Batao, Tanvi.
Yes, sir. So first of all, we have sold one piece of land. So we bought two land for 24,000, which were equal size. So 12,000 would be gone from our land.
Okay,
Then
12,000 is gone from land. What else?
3,000 we have received in cash. So plus 3,000 in cash.
Plus 3 in cash. Perfect. What else?
And that person is taking the liability for the mortgage. So minus 9,000 from the mortgage.
Yes.
Land.
Perfect. Minus 9,000 from mortgage. Now you would see that when do we write in the same heading and when do we create a different heading? Because for this obligation, we already have a heading. That is why we subtracted from the same obligation. That earlier we had an obligation of 18,000, but now after this sale, it falls down by 9,000. That is why we have subtracted this 9,000. And I think remaining two treatment should be very obvious to everybody, that after this sale, land value has fallen down by 12. So that is why this negative. And you got 3,000 in cash. That is why this. So exactly correct. Any questions here in this treatment?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Not exactly related to the transaction details, but if you have mortgaged the land, how can you sell it?
Okay. If you buy a car on EMI, are you legally prevented from selling it? EMI का वाला कार कभी
It's
बिकता है?
not it's not even in my name till now.
No, you can sell it. It is just that some documentation needs to happen, certain approvals needs to be taken, and that obligation also shifts. That is how you purchase or sell something which is still on what you can say, loan.
Okay, so the loan,
Let us say,
whoever is providing the loan.
hold on. Let us say you have purchased a car. The car is for, let us say, 10 lakh rupees, and you have paid, let us say, of 10 lakh rupees, let us say you have paid only 2 lakhs so far, and you want to sell this car. It is perfectly all right. Now the buyer will have to assume the responsibility of making this payment of 8 lakh rupees of loan. And of course, you need to do certain paperwork, but this is how it happens, and it is allowed. It is not banned. कि एक बार आपने लोन पे खरीद लिया, then you are stuck. Just imagine housing transactions. Most of the houses are purchased on loan, and these loans go on for so many years. Just imagine that once you have purchased, you are stuck with the house for 35 years of EMIs. It makes sense. No, it doesn't make sense in real life. That is why there is no such legal restriction. Only thing is that you need to deal with a little bit of extra paperwork and think about how you are going to deal with the loan. Sometimes you sell it and receive the entire amount and you pay back the bank loan from that receipt. Sometimes the obligation itself is shifted, but something needs to happen. Okay, let's go ahead. So good, this one is pretty smooth. Next one. Next one is interesting. It says Smith has received a bona fide offer of $33,000 for the business. 33,000 का एक offer मिला है. That somebody is saying that they want to purchase this business from Mr. Smith. They want to pay 33,000, and on this day, the value of owner's equity, that is capital and retained earning, comes out to be around 26,000 something dollars. So what they're saying is that 26,000 something dollars is the equity. Somebody is ready to pay 33,000. That is why the difference amount is goodwill. So how should we incorporate this in the accounting equation is the question. Okay, let's hear it from anybody. So
we should discard it.
Batao.
Sir, we won't record this transaction at all.
Why?
Because there is no transaction at all open because the offer has been rejected. He didn't
Offer has
accept.
been- Okay.
He,
So no transaction. That is why we are doing it. Okay, fine. Because offer has been rejected. Okay, fine. Anything else? Any other reason? Anybody? Bhavya, go ahead.
So, sir, transaction has not happened, but we have realized the fact that a goodwill has increased, or I mean, we have become cognizant of that fact. So we have to record goodwill at least.
Okay, how do we do that?
So we will make an asset, another name, maybe goodwill, and
Mhm.
add 6,000.
Okay, a new asset called goodwill. Add 6,000 and what else?
Retained earnings.
Retained earning में क्या करें?
The same number increase plus.
Add 6,000. Okay, perfect. Okay. Anybody else? Saurabh, बताओ. You have
I
already.
think, sir, we should not. My point is same as Arvind, that we should not record this transaction as nothing sort of has happened, and this goodwill can only be recorded once the transaction should happen.
Okay, fine. Paridhi, go ahead.
Sir, that only as what Saurabh mentioned, plus it's also a going concern, so we shouldn't be bothered to address this anyways.
Okay, what going concern has to do with anything that is going on here?
So,
I mean, we are still in the business.
Okay, okay, fine. Vidhi, go ahead.
Sir, basically here, like, it's only the opinion of Mr. Smith, right? Like, there can be other person having different opinions, and then, like, the goodwill value will keep, like, fluctuating. So basically, like, no transaction actually happened. Like, it's just that person's opinion. So that's why we won't be recording goodwill.
Okay, no transaction, opinion, rejected. Okay, Mridul, go ahead.
sir, in this one, since once the transaction happens, goodwill of 6,000, I think 6,000, it will go into assets, and owner's equity will also increase by 6,000.
Okay, so same, I think somebody said, Bhavya said, or somebody, I forgot, same transaction. Okay, fine. Anything new? Anybody wants to add any new point which has not been told so far? Okay, let us hear it. One thing should be very clear, that no transaction has happened, so nothing should be done. I think that should be very obvious to everybody, that let us say today somebody told you that, wow, what a business, I am ready to purchase 200,000 crore rupees for your business. Suddenly you don't go and tell your accountant that increase the value of my business to 2,000 crore rupees. That is point number one. Point number two is that, okay, this one is a bona fide business. Bona fide offer. Bona fide offer means what? That it was just, I was not speaking or offering in air, that I really intended to purchase. Let us say if that was the case, then can you just say that the value of the business in the market is higher? No, once again not, because it is just an opinion of one person. What if an opinion of somebody else is something different? But that's not the main reason. The main reason why we don't want to use the word goodwill here is something else. One is definitely that no transaction has happened. Even if a transaction would have happened, we would not have entered anything. And can anybody think of why? I gave you the answer, but now you need to think of a reason why.
Because
Yes,
the
sir,
business
because-
is not there
Because the
now. It's been sold to someone.
What are we trying to say here is that I have already told you that what is the reason or what is the case in which we enter goodwill in financial statements?
When it's
Good.
purchased.
Huh?
So when we overpay for something.
When you overpay for somebody else, is that what has happened for this business? Have they acquired somebody else for an overpayment? No. First of all, there is no acquisition, there is no transaction itself. But even if a transaction would have happened, these guys are the target. They are not the acquirer. You know the difference between these terminologies now? That in an acquisition, an acquirer is the person who acquires the business and target is the person who gets sold. Now that is second reason why you should not do it. One is that transaction didn't happen. Second is that even if it did happen, goodwill is only for the acquirer. Now there is one more reason for this that we will come to when we are discussing number 12. Why you should not do anything about it. There are plenty of reasons. One is that nothing has happened. Another thing is that goodwill is only entered for the party who's acquiring a business. This time this business is the target. So for target, there is no such thing of goodwill. Within this second point, there is one more intuition to this that we will come to when we are moving to number 12. So for that, you need to hold on. Any other questions or any other issues here? यहाँ तक समझ में आया? Why we don't want to record this? Simply कल को आपको बोले कि यार wow Saurabh, what a fantastic person, your market worth is let us say 10,000 trillion. Then suddenly Saurabh does not go into an interview and say कि 10,000 trillion though, otherwise I will not work. Okay, so don't do that. One thing is that don't go on the imaginary transaction. The transaction needs to actually happen. Okay, let's move on. Next one is also interesting. Smith withdrew $1,000 of cash from the store's bank account for his personal use. What should we do with this? What do you think should happen? Smith has withdrawn $1,000 in cash into the business from the business's bank account.
Sir, cash minus 1,000.
Yes, perfect. Cash is falling down, so minus 1,000 in cash. What else?
Sir, owner's equity.
Owner's equity minus 1,000 or plus 1,000? क्या करें?
Sir, plus 1,000.
Plus 1,000. Owner's equity बढ़ गया. किधर?
No, sir.
In capital or retained earning? किधर डालें? Owner's equity has two components, right? Capital
Yes,
and
sir.
retained earning. किधर डालें? Where should I put it?
Sir, capital में.
Okay, capital minus 1,000.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Anybody else? Any other opinion? Open to all.
Sir, in retained earning, it should be minus.
Assets.
Yes, sir, in retained earnings, it would be minus 1,000.
Okay, so Paridhi is saying that don't subtract in capital, subtract in retained earning. Fine. So there are two opinions. I think here, up till here, everybody will agree that one side of this transaction needs to be that cash has fallen down by 1,000. No disputes there. Now the only dispute could be, should we subtract it from capital or should we subtract from retained earnings? So any other new opinion? Yeah, Nishtha, go ahead. Same. Okay. Tanvi, go ahead.
Sir, I wanted to ask you, sir, when we needed money from the bank, when the like business needed money, then we had the notes payable. So now business is acting as a bank. So owner is taking loan from the business. So isn't there something like notes receivable?
Ye naya. Okay. Very interesting.
What-
What she is asking is that when you take money from somebody, you call it a loan. When you give money to somebody, then that also should be called a loan, right? It is just because she is like, she has perfectly understood the entity concept. She is saying that I don't care whether you are owner or not. You have taken money, so I will call it that I have given loan to you. Okay. So I will give you an alternative treatment according to her argument. Only thing is that now I need a little bit more space. So I am anyway, this goodwill is not needed, so I'll rub this one off. So in the asset side, I should have one more asset called loan and add $1,000 to this. What is the meaning of this? According to her, the meaning of this is that cash has fallen down and you have a new asset called a loan. Only thing is this loan is given to the owners. When you take loan, it is your obligation. When you give loan, then it should be your asset. So that is why I have written it in the asset side. Clear up till here? Now suddenly we have three contenders. Okay, great. Now which one of these is correct? Anybody with any new alternative? Okay, let us discuss which of these three options is correct. Option A, option B, or option C. Is the debate clear to everybody? What are we going to discuss? We are saying that 1,000 rupees moved away from the business. Now we have three alternatives to do its counterpart. Either we should reduce it from capital, we should reduce it from retained earning, or we should create a new asset called loan. Which of the three should be correct? Now let me give you an example. Example is that let us say this business had given some more detail. Let us say if this business was not a sole proprietorship, rather if it was a company. I'm going to explain that how if it was a company, then you would not face this confusion at all. If it was a company and company gives you money, then they will tell you a certain jargon. They will tell you that why they have given you money. In what ways can money be taken out of a company and given it to owners? Owners को पैसे किस किस रूप में दिए जा सकते हैं? In what ways, in what forms money can be given from a company to its owners? Owners are who? Shareholders are the owners for company.
Dividend.
बताओ.
Dividend.
One is dividend, yes. In form of dividend, money can be given to the owners. What else?
So buyback. Has sold his shares.
Buyback, perfect. Sold or your shares or buyback, same thing. That company buys back the share. And what else? Only one
Advance.
thing is loan or advance. Loan or advance. Loan or advance. Right? In case of a company, they will say that we have distributed this much money to the shareholders in form of. Sometimes they will say in form of dividend. Sometimes they will say that in form of buybacks. And sometimes they will say in form of loans and advances. In case of a company, things are pretty smooth, crystal clear. Let us say they have said that we have distributed in form of dividend. Then can you tell me that which of these three treatment, A, B or C should be correct?
Dividends is an expense.
Okay,
Direct
dividend
expense.
Okay.
So it is your bank balance reduces and your expenditure increases. So retained earnings increase. So that
Okay,
is not
retained earning will increase. ऐसा कौन सा खर्चा करते हो यार?
decrease.
Okay, decrease. Okay, fine.
I mean,
okay, here this one, the treatment is correct, but a little bit of something is off. Dividend is not an expense. Dividend is never an expense. Now this one may come shocker to somebody, but actually it is true. Let us say Arkdeep starts a business. Let us say Arkdeep starts a business of selling second-hand cars, vintage cars. He purchased 5 cars for 10 lakh rupees each and sold all 5 of them for, let us say, 12 lakh rupees each. Okay, so spent how much? 50 lakhs and got how much? 60 lakhs. There was a profit of 10 lakh rupees. He gave himself a dividend of 10 lakh rupees. Now somebody asks you that how much profit did Arkdeep's business make? What your answer should be? 10 lakh rupees or 0 rupees?
10 lakh.
10 lakh.
How much profit?
10 lakh.
10 lakh. 10 lakh.
10 lakh. He has already distributed dividend, right?
The dividend is distributed to the shareholders in the proportion of their percentage proportion in the company.
Yeah, he was the only shareholder, so he owned 100% of the profit. He withdrew everything. Is the question clear? Forget about the response. Is the question clear to everybody? What am I asking?
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
so how much profit did this business make? The answer everybody intuitively should say, we went to Arkdeep. He has already taken that 10 lakh out, and let us say he had paid how much? 2 terms of fees for an IAM. I don't know how many terms, but he has already consumed the cash. Now, was his business profitable business?
So it was a profitable
It
business.
was a profitable business.
Dividend that he paid was not a business. I mean, it
Yes.
was not a business operation.
That is what, that dividend is what you did with the profit. It is what we call appropriation of the profit. Appropriation is the term sometimes used. It is never an expense. Dividend वो खर्चा नहीं है. It is like, what did you do with the profit? Did you let it be in the business or you took it out? In either of the cases, it doesn't change the fact that this business did earn a profit of 10 lakh rupees. यहाँ तक समझ आया? That is why dividend is not an expense, never an expense. Dividend is what you did with the profit. Okay, perfect. Now, why do you get dividend? The concept of dividend itself is that you are distributing some of the profit or all of the profit your business made. So conceptually speaking itself, business is always out of the profits of the business. Now, because dividends are always out of the profit, that is why out of this treatment A, B and C, only one of these makes sense. If it was a dividend payment, that is when you are making profit, you are adding it here. So when you are withdrawing profit, you can add it here. You can subtract it here, sorry. Clear है यहाँ तक? Nahin, Priyanshi? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now, if it was a dividend, we knew that we should subtract it from retained earning. What if it was a buyback? Then what you would have done? What is a buyback? In case somebody doesn't know, that you go to the company, you surrender your shares, and you get some cash back. That's what a buyback is. Is it clear up till here? Now, in case of a buyback, because you are surrendering your capital, then only one of these treatment makes sense, which is what?
Capital.
Number A. So if it was a buyback, I knew I would have done the treatment A. If it was a dividend, I knew I would have done the treatment B. I think you can understand what is going to be the answer for the third one. If the company mentions it is loan and advance, what you should have done?
Decreased cash and increased asset, which is
Increase an asset called loan, that is treatment number C. Now, what have I told you just now? This is what I have told you, that if it was a company, they would have made the jargons itself so clear that you would have known that which of these three treatment is applicable. Unfortunately, in case of a sole proprietorship, it is not going to be that clear. Simply, they would say, for example, let us say it is Arpdeep's his own firm. Now, in a sole proprietorship, you don't need to use these jargons. You have just taken 10,000 rupees out of the business, that's it. So in that case, either you do this treatment or you do this treatment, both are going to be considered correct. It doesn't matter in that case because you don't know for what purpose has the money been taken. In general, if it was as in the form of a loan, that they need to specify separately. If they have not specified anything and then they have taken the money away from the business, it is assumed that it is definitely not in form of loan. Either it is withdrawal of the capital or it is withdrawal of the profit, but not as a loan. If it was to be a loan, they need to specifically say it. What is the answer to or the bottom line of all of this discussion? Bottom line is this, that in this example, because it is simply said $1,000 has been withdrawn, because they have not mentioned it that it is in form of loans and advance, this is the treatment we will not do. But it was a possibility, but we will not do it because they have not clarified that it is a loan. So this is not needed. Now, apart from that, if you do the treatment A or treatment B, both of these would have been correct. No problem there. Now, if your life was not complicated already, I will complicate it further now. There is a treatment possibility D as well, which is what? And even that would have been correct, which is what? That if you are not clear that should it be A or B, where should I subtract? You write a new column called withdrawals. And then there you subtract $1,000. We have a specific name for this withdrawals. When owner withdraws some resources, we have a specific name for this heading. It is called drawings. Okay. Not that Mamta Banerjee drawing or Majnubai drawing. This one is withdrawals from the business. Okay, so it represents that owners have taken resources out of the business. Now, what does this changes? This completely avoids the confusion that you want to subtract it from capital or retained earnings. And when you are calculating owner's equity and you have withdrawals mentioned separately, then owner's equity formula is no longer only capital plus retained earnings, but it is capital plus retained earning minus any withdrawals or drawings. Okay, if you have already written withdrawals in the negative form, then it is plus drawings. Basically, the withdrawals needs to get subtracted. Okay, so if you have written withdrawals somewhere like this, that 1,000 withdrawal, then 750 withdrawal, then you need to write the formula as negative withdrawals. If you have already the negative sign here, then you simply need to say add withdrawals. I think you got the point. The point is that if you have withdrawn, the claim should fall down. I will repeat it for the purpose of the entire class. In case the reason of the disbursement of the money is clear, then we will know what to do. For example, if it is dividend, we need to subtract from retained earning. If it is buybacks, we need to subtract it from capital. If it is loan, we need to create a new asset called loan. If it is not clear, then what do you do? Then either of these two could have been correct answer. This one in that case also will not be a correct answer because somebody needs to specifically mention that it is in form of loan. If nothing has been mentioned, that means don't do this. But if from these two, any of the treatment you do, both of these are correct. Alternatively, if you want to avoid that, you can create a new heading. This is what we said. So there are these three treatments for this transaction which are okay. So if you subtract this 1000 here and don't do anything else, that is okay. That means reduce cash and reduce capital. Then it is a perfect treatment. Alternatively, if you don't want to reduce it here, then you reduce here. That is an also acceptable way to do this treatment. If you don't want to do this, then you create a new heading called withdrawal and subtract $1,000 there. That is also acceptable. So any of these three treatments are okay.
Okay.
If the example is silent on why have you taken money out of the business. Yeah, go ahead, Kanish. Question.
Sir, so will the company get interest on this withdrawal account on this?
No, no, that is the essence of this. The moment we are silent, that means there is no interest. If there were to be any interest, they would have mentioned it that this is as a loan to the owners. Okay, okay, Rishikesh, go ahead.
Sir, so in the sole proprietorship, if they had mentioned loan, then on the asset side, you'll add the loan and you'll add plus 1K, right?
Yes, in the asset side, if they have mentioned it, be it sole proprietorship or any business, if they have said that owner has taken $1,000 from the business in form of loan, this line was added, that in form of a loan. Then what you would have done, you would have added a new asset called loan to owners or simply loan, and then you would have added 1,000. This is what you would have done.
Okay, sir,
but
thank you.
there is no such evidence here. That is why we are not doing it. Okay, more questions? Arpit, go ahead.
So if there are multiple owners and the withdrawal is done by one, can we still?
Good question. Good question. What he is asking is that here it is simple, only Mr. Smith is the owner. What if there are 3-4 owners and one of these take the money out? Will anything change?
I think we can just straightforward go and reduce from the capital.
Okay, because we are running a little bit out of time, so I'll straight away answer it. Otherwise, I would have loved to open it for the small discussion. Basically, on the face of the balance sheet or rather accounting equation, nothing will change. Straight away, we will subtract, let us say, one of the owner has withdrawn from the profit. We will just reduce retained earning. No changes here. Somewhere else, we would have maintained another register for all the withdrawals by different owners. There we will mention that this withdrawal was done by an owner called, let's say, Rishikesh. That Rishikesh took this money out. Okay, but not on the face of accounting equation. There is no need. Imagine that a business like, for example, let's say ITC. ITC has let us say 1,20,000 different people as owners, shareholders. When they give dividend, are they going to write everybody's name, 1 crore names? Will it come here? No, it doesn't make sense. They will simply mention that this much was the dividend. Somewhere there will be a record of these are the shareholders and who took what. Okay, so you will mention it somewhere else in some other register, but conceptually speaking, on accounting equation, there is no need to provide this bifurcation because that much detail will never be available to you. Okay, okay, more questions? Cool.